Welcome. It's 12 Hub Podcast, episode number 37. We are coming off our sneaker of the year. What was it, like our nomination episode, Drew? We're way behind on
Yeah,
this. We're like weeks
we're
behind
just
on
in
doing
time.
this.
We're not behind. We're just in time.
We're just in time. Just in time for the
Yeah, we're
sneaker of the
just in
year
time.
2025. Okay.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Absolutely.
we got a couple of candidates for 2026 sneaker of the year coming out. But we have a special guest today, our
Nice
buddy
to meet you
Sage
guys.
here.
Yeah,
Hey.
glad to be here.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
welcome in.
Sage is one of these people who I would call a person who takes advantage of the culture in a good way.
Wow.
By helping us move some of the things we don't want online to sell to you people, or also keep track of our collections and stuff like that. He's working on an app that I am beta testing but never actually used yet, and I'm going to use it. But he's here to kind of just chill with us, talk about the application, and how it's relevant to us in the culture. Like these conversations don't really happen, I think, as I've seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen it on any of those sneaker podcasts. So I want to open up the forum and let kind of the other side, the kind of the new age of the culture come into it. Because I think the reselling and more so collecting just to show off shit has been the trend in the last, at least since the pandemic, really, right, Drew? You
Yeah,
think?
yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
COVID collectors really jumped on the
That-
scene.
That's where I
Everyone
started. Yeah,
became a sneakerhead. Everyone became a sneakerhead during COVID.
pretty much. Sage became a sneakerhead after all that stuff. So Sage, give us kind of a rundown of what you're doing, and then we'll get into the conversation a little bit so the people know exactly what's up.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to hopefully bring that perspective of technology and where things are moving on sort of the selling side of the market. So we're working on Vault. Vault is the all-in-one platform for reselling. So you scan something, you take a photo, we understand what you have, and we help you sell it quickly for a good price. So the end goal for Vault is you could sell anything, but right now we're really focused on sneakers and sneakerheads because they know the market, they understand how it moves. The market is a little bit tighter for sneakers. Like it's a little bit easier to understand how sneakers move rather than like say, a random piece of electronics or some
Mhm.
designer clothing brand. But yeah, I mean, things with especially with AI, things are starting to get very very interesting with the technology in this space.
So, what? So, can you walk us through a little bit more about kind of what the problem you're solving is, or kind of the opportunity, as well as the user experience that, when utilizing your platform, kind of how are you distinguishing yourself outside of the other platforms that are out there that may do something similar?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think at least at this current moment, our product is really great for people who are selling a lot of stuff. Although in the future we'd like to, go after people like you, people who are collectors and maybe have a few hundred items. But what differentiates us is the ability to really take out your phone, scan something, and have it everywhere. I think a lot of other platforms are maybe more focused on like shipping, like labels, shipping. Maybe they're not integrated with a bunch of different.
We know what platform you're talking about. Can we say the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Knet. I've talked to them too. They're very
Yeah,
special. Like,
no, KNet's great. I've had
Yeah,
conversations with them.
yeah.
The difference with us and KNet is we really believe that sellers want to take control of their whole operations. They don't want to be, for lack of a better word, beholden to somebody running a warehouse who might lose their stuff, might damage their stuff. I mean, a lot of these fulfillment guys went under during the last, market explosion with sneakers. They went under because they mishandled a lot of the inventory. So for us, we believe the sellers, they know what's best for them. They know where they want to sell, and we power them to do that.
Cool. I mean, you heard the story about that. I know it's a little different when it came to like people like holding the stock, but that guy who went to jail recently for fraudulently selling a bunch of sneakers. Did you hear about that? Like he
Yeah, like
$80
was
million
that guy like
worth.
connected to like his mom worked at Nike or something? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
talking
no, no, no. This is another guy. Drew, what was his
about?
name?
Okay.
I forgot. Like the guy, he just went to jail. 80 million. It was like
Forget
last
to.
week. Yeah. So basically, he was selling sneakers early that he didn't have, and it was like it was sort of like a pyramid scheme or a shell game or whatever. So he was selling sneakers early to people at reasonable prices. So let's just say it's like some off-white Jordan, whatever, right? And it's not out yet, but he'd have stock of it and sell it reasonably above retail. Like resale prices might be $800, right? He'll sell it to a bunch of people at $500 and
Zeta
sell,
kicks.
at Zeta kicks, yeah. So he'd sell like all these sneakers to people and sell them just above retail enough to say that they're getting a deal as a resale price, and then send it to them quote unquote early. So what he was doing was like not shipping stuff. People were giving him tons of money, and like he would just supply some people. Like he'd buy a bunch of sneakers, supply some people, and not supply others. And as he got new customers, and he just take their money, give and buy supply for certain customers, and not pay, like not send supply to other customers. And it got to a point where he was just rotating out money so much that a lot of people never got their supply. His loyal customers got screwed over, and all he did was just take the profit off the top. So what, and basically it was crazy. Like this guy was driving around, what do you have, like a 10, 15 car exotic
Yeah.
car collection, and freaking house in Miami, like a big mansion in Miami. He was living it up. And $80 million worth of just robbing people off the resale game and whatnot. But obviously nothing to do with this. You guys, you give that power back to the seller.
We are not in
Or the
that, to be
collector.
clear. That's
Nah,
actually common, though. That's
yeah,
common
no,
where
yeah.
guys will, pre-sell the drops. It's a very
Yeah.
common
Yeah.
thing. I think you just
Yeah.
got to be careful with it because, you don't want to be
Yeah.
driving around a BMW and not have that inventory ready.
I mean, I'm surprised. And go ahead, Drew.
I was just going to say, finish your thought, Hugh. I wanted to ask more about.
Oh,
the
I didn't
app,
have a
'cause
thought. I was just going to talk more.
okay.
Go ahead.
It's all right. Anytime we can keep Hugh to a minimum on the mic is good.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm understanding correctly, let's just say you take my collection, like 700 pairs of shoes, and I want to list 300 of them. I can therefore use your app to basically spider out everything to all the resale platforms or selling platforms. Is that kind of the 10,000-foot version of it?
Yeah, 100%. And not only that, we help you put all those items up. So when you
Okay.
get to a scale of hundreds of items, it actually becomes quite difficult to just list them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing for you, Hugh, you're probably dreading, listing all the stuff you have a little bit. If you're doing on StockX, it's not that bad. But if you start doing used inventory, especially like non-BS stuff, it is a lot of time. I mean, you got to take photos, you got to write those titles, the descriptions, and then people start coming at you with offers on eBay or these different platforms. You got to talk to all these guys, and then imagine trying to do this full time, right? You're running a warehouse or something. But yeah, I mean, we help you, like you said, spider out those different marketplaces, but also scan stuff in, use AI to help you, what we say, like, ingest your products into these different platforms, make that easier.
Oh, so you evolved a
Cool.
bit since the last we talked. I
yeah.
remember last time we talked, you were only on only a web app, and you weren't connected to, I think, eBay and a couple other platforms. So now you're synced up with everything, I'm assuming. I logged in the other day, and I was like, let me try this, and I couldn't even list anything. I was like, fuck this, I'm like that. But I'm gonna, yeah, that's why I wanted to have the conversation first. And now you're saying you have the mobile app and stuff. So I definitely want to test that. I did have a question just before we go on with the conversation about the app. So I have stuff already listed on GOAT. Will it sync up my listings, or do I have to relist everything?
Yeah, we can import those into the system for you. So that's something we do for people that we bring on. Is we'll be like,
Okay.
if they have a few hundred items already listed, I don't want to redo all this stuff, right? So we'll go through and help you bring it all in.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I'll definitely, when you send me that app link, I'm gonna start doing stuff this weekend. And everything, it's clothing. I mean, I'm sorry, it's sneakers and apparel, like everything that you can potentially list on all these platforms.
So we don't support apparel at this very moment, but our plan is
Okay.
to be anything eventually, like not just streetwear, but anything in your house. I want to sell this. Take a few photos, let the AI help you create those listings and manage the whole process for you.
Even
there's
Facebook Marketplace stuff, like if I want to sell an old lawnmower, I can do
anything.
that.
I mean, we even got guys that like they post everything on their stories, right? And we want to be able to create those stories for you on your Instagram.
Oh, wow.
That's dope.
For you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Wow,
really like
sorry
a
about
hub.
that.
You're becoming like a hub.
That's
Alright,
smart.
cool.
See, you know why I fucked with you guys in the beginning? Excuse my language. Nah, when I first talked, so
Am I allowed to
they,
swear on this podcast?
yeah,
Yes.
they did market. They talked to. They reached out to me directly, asking like, "Oh, we saw some clips." So they went around, did their research on
Mm,
people who would actually use the damn app. Because I come from a tech background, and we do a lot. Like I always sent out whenever we did a product launch or something. We always surveyed customers, everybody in house to kind of understand, like, you know, how can we solve this problem for you the best way possible. What you're saying right now is totally what like a forward thinking way of do it yourself, but also adding those extra features that give you the ability to kind of spread your wings. It's like those like the apps we use now. We use a ton of apps for the social media stuff. So
mhm.
in picking those, I have to pick out the ones that have all the features that I need. Like, hey, can you all my clients, they have social media accounts that we run for them. So I'm like, I have to figure out how to put all these things in one place. Does it give me adequate reporting? Can it post captions? Can it give me help with you know, editing the video or resizing video, whatever we need to do. And we chose one particular platform to do that. It's a little more expensive than the other one that we wanted, but or was considering, but it solved all our problems in one place. I'm willing to pay the extra money. So I know we talked about how this platform kind of works. Um, have you? I know it's still in like you're still in like a beta testing phase, right? Yeah, it's not out to the public just yet. Um, is there good? I know you want to sell. I mean, use it for sellers who are doing scale. Uh, and is that going to be on some kind of paid model, or is it just going to be on a invite only platform in the beginning once you fully launch? Like, what's your plan for all that?
Yeah, right now I would say it's I describe it as a private beta, and we invite people into it on a case by case basis. Um, and the reason we do that is just because right now, since we're a small team, it's easier if we kind of talk to everybody first. Like I reached out to you, talk to everybody on one-on-one meeting, figure out exactly what they need, where they're selling, what kind of product they're dealing with. But I would like to get it on the App Store and get it out to everyday people because I know it would be really useful for anybody. Even that
Yeah,
Instagram story thing, being able to have that managed for
that's
you. A lot of
that's
people like
dope.
that. Yeah.
So I'll give you a little bit of a tip. I don't know if you've released software on iOS or Android before, but if you're going to do it through a company, like if you're an incorporated or an LLC, start that process now.
Yeah.
Just it's
Yeah, they,
getting Apple to approve your company is a pain in the ass. So I've been developing software for over 20 years, like Fortune 50, Fortune 100 companies. So done a lot of mobile development. It's always a pain with Apple. So just put that in your backlog
Just
and
like the
know
process
that
takes
there's
forever. Or,
yeah, and what they require you to submit, it's just you can't talk to anybody. So it's like, hey, you upload these documents, that's not right. You wait 3 weeks to hear that it's not right, you start the process over again. So it's just a pain in the ass.
yeah, it is. I've been there.
If you need any help, let me know. I've
No, I will.
done
I
it
will
with
probably reach out. We've already had some difficulty. So we have an app that's in test flight. So that's like the private. I'm sure you're aware, but it's like the
yep.
private testing version, right? And even you have to approve the builds for that, even for like our guys that are using that app. And man, the people are reviewing sometimes are very difficult to deal with. I'm not
Yep.
trying to shit talk anybody, but they can be a pain in
They
the
don't
ass.
make it easy.
The other big pain
So
in the ass is Apple takes like 30% of your
yes.
money that you
Yeah,
make.
I know.
It's great.
Yeah.
That is so much
Big chunk.
money to take. Yeah.
That's why people don't like that's it's why you see a lot more interesting development on Android because it's not you don't get whacked with quite a fee.
Nobody
But
likes Android though, man. No,
ah,
Yeah,
hey,
we
that's
don't
the
do
problem.
that.
None of our guys use Androids.
yeah, it's most developers do because you can hack it, right? It's open, you can make it open source. But I'm curious, Sage, what tell us a little bit more about your background. Like have you are you into sneakers? Are you into kind of luxury goods? What prompted you to dip your toes in these waters? It's kind of a neat, very niche, right? So, and all of us sneaker collectors are insane. Like we all are sick in the head. So,
No, yeah, I have kind of a weird background. I grew up like very poor, so I didn't have a lot of stuff. So what I did is I actually started flipping things like in high school to make some spare change. I would flip mostly like electronics and video games. So that's my angle on sort of the resell, flipping market. And I'll go like flea markets, thrift stores, garage sales. I would haggle people, and get crazy deals. And then I would go on eBay and these platforms and try to sell the stuff that I acquired, mostly because I wanted to get more stuff for myself. And I think you guys understand this. Like a lot of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you do is just to build your collection
Yeah.
bigger. And the people that I meet in the sneaker space, the best sellers are the guys that love it. Like they just love the game. They love having the best stuff. Those guys are the best. The guys that come in it, because they're just like, oh, I can make some quick money here. Like a lot of those people that came during the last sort of like gold rush, right, with the bots and all that. A lot of those guys are gone now. They're not in
Mm-hmm.
it. Market obviously is rougher, but a lot of those guys were there for the money, and they weren't there because they enjoy wearing the shoes. They weren't there because they enjoy, getting.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Jonesy.
sweet
Hey.
Hi.
But
How's it going?
But yeah, so I
Good.
started out thrifting and going to garage sales and flipping stuff, and then over the last year, got involved, talked to some guys that were selling a lot of sneakers at scale, and they're like, "Hey, if you could build this for me, make it nice and half or something, I would pay you." And I'm like, "Well, that sounds good to me,"
Yeah, I mean, I even said it when we first talked. I was willing to pay for it if it made sense, and I'm glad some of those ideas and stuff we talked about came out. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people you talk to mentioned the same things I mentioned, because it's even from like a small scale, large scale collector like myself, small, large, whatever. But, like it's necessary. It's one of these things. It's like when it comes down to it, like I said, hey, I need the money, but I'm too lazy to freaking post everything up. I mean, like, look, if I was going bankrupt tomorrow, I'd totally be listing everything myself and taking all the pictures and all that. But at the state I'm in now, I'm just like, I need something to help me get all that pushed through so I could sell this stuff and get more stuff. So I feel like this is a great solution for that, and the fact that you don't take the inventory. That's another thing that I've talked to, like this girl, like Drew knows that, and Kari, our other co-host. When we talk about like KNet and understanding their platform, it's great. Yeah, keep it in the warehouse. I don't even want it in my house, but you go out of business, where does my stuff go? Right?
Right.
And we've seen this with consignment sellers and all that, and especially when it didn't Flight Club got bought up or somebody, like these different places when they get bought up by other entities, who's taking over that paperwork and making sure consigners get paid. That the J2 Kicks guy out of Vegas, you heard his story. I think it happened a little bit after we talked, where the guy basically sold off his business, the majority of it to somebody else. He was still handling operations, but the people who owned the business screwed all the consigners. Like they stopped keeping track of everything, stopped paying everybody, but they were still selling sneakers. And he signed paperwork that said he was liable for all those people not
Yeah,
getting
it's
paid and
crazy.
stuff.
Terrible
And
contract.
yeah,
But that's
terrible.
a
Yeah.
store, not an app. So
Yeah. But
I will say, to be fair to KNet, they're very good at what they do. I don't want to act like they don't have a place. They're very good at the fulfillment and consignment. And I think if you want that, I would recommend them because they're good at that.
you don't need to be diplomatic here. It's okay.
I mean, look, no, they're great. They tried to get me to use their service, and I was just like, I don't want to ship all my stuff to you and deal with that nonsense. It's just,
Well,
Donnie,
I
about
would
to say
say that, yeah, I mean, I do think, the consignment's not going away, right? And there's definitely going to be people who, want someone else to handle logistics and all these other operations for them, So I do think there's a place in the market for various types of businesses. I think that's really healthy for the marketplaces, right? For, the industry, for reselling in general, to have different types of businesses, approaching similar problems, but in different ways, and giving people options in terms of what's best for their business.
Yeah, I agree. And so that's really why I was rolling with your platform and stuff. And I'm glad you guys developed it out over the last few months. So from a business perspective, going back to that, I know we spoke, and I don't know if you want to let this information out, but like alluding to like
Those are the best kind of
like
questions.
no, the type of
Yeah.
like how would you want?
Let's hear
I'm
it.
very I love dealing with pricing models. This is like one of my things. Like because I work in media, so I understand like CPMs and how to P&L, all this stuff. So have you guys come to any resolution on how you want to set up the hierarchy of how you get paid out by sellers? Because I think ultimately like, look, there's only so many people who resell sneakers at scale, right?
Mhm.
If you're not gonna, you're not gonna be able to afford that apartment and that nice office you're in or whatever. Just dealing with those people. Now, how do you expect to scale this out in the future? And do you want to? Obviously, it would be a pay to play model. So I'm assuming if you do pack it full of these features, would you want to offer them to everybody right away, or like, is there going to be like tiers of pricing? Like, what's have you guys come up with that strategy yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You
I
know,
gotta assume. Yeah, I gotta assume that the AI calls, like the APIs and everything to call the
Yeah.
AI, is not cheap. I've
Yeah.
developed quite a bit of that, so it can get expensive quickly. So how are you managing kind of the overhead as well as what Hugh's talking about? I'm just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
if
By
you're
the way,
willing to share.
yeah, we can share a little bit. By the way, the fact that like the pricing of the AI stuff is crazy because like not a lot of people know how crazy expensive it can
Thank
get.
you.
Yes,
You're helping
Oh
us
yeah,
sell it.
insanely expensive.
dude, I pay
Yes, it's
$250
very
a month
expensive.
for my Google Gemini account's crazy. I pay $250 a month, and they don't give me like for video editing, any of those special calls for any of the
Yeah, but
creative
even
stuff. They charge
even
you
the
a lot.
barcode scanners, right? Every
Yeah,
call is a cost. So every
Mhm.
time
yeah.
you're making a call, there's a cost associated to it. So just knowing, my background being in software, I'm just curious how you're all handling that overhead, because it gets, especially with large collections. So if you're
Mhm.
making a ton of calls, it can get pricey quick.
So over the last few months, we've actually thought a lot about this. This is a really good question, by the way. A lot of the costs that comes with running a system like this is the automations that are running 24/7 for us personally. The AI stuff is probably the second biggest thing. Anytime you're asking the AI questions about what the product is, you're creating listings, that gets pricey pretty quickly. But the bigger thing is like we have systems that are running 24/7 for a lot of our bigger guys, and that costs a lot of money. So the way we're going to split it up probably is there's going to be a lower tier, and I hesitate to use the word lower because it's still very powerful, for people like you get stuff up,
Sure.
get the listings generated. And then there's going to be a more extensive suite for bigger sellers, and that has a lot. It has a lot of those automations running 24/7. You're looking at pricing the market, repricing your inventory, checking for sales, doing your accounting, basic accounting, stuff like that. In terms of dollar amounts on the pricing, I would say it's pretty in line with the software in the space. The one interesting thing about our pricing model is we are going to be doing a small double sale protection fee is what we call it on the sales. So these are for our bigger people that are paying the higher amount, and with those automations that are constantly running. There's going to be a tiny fee when you make a sale just to prevent your stuff from selling on the other platforms, and that's on top of like a monthly. So there's a monthly, and then there's that. And the smaller people is probably just going to be the monthly. I think of like $20 a month or something very reasonable.
So have you developed those personas as far as, hey, I'm a user that has like 150 pairs. I typically flip like 25 pairs a month. That type of user. When you're talking about a tiered approach, have you dove into kind of those user journeys as far as this is my kind of light user, this is my super user, power user, whatever you're going to call them, type approach, and
Yeah,
tier your
100%.
pricing accordingly? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So like the higher tier is people who are like, this is my full-time job, or I want it to be my full-time job. These are the guys out there hustling. Maybe they got a warehouse, they got storage lockers, whatever it is. They might even have a few employees, full business running, right?
Mm.
And then the smaller tier is for the people who either want to try it, maybe they're big, but they just want to try it, see how it works out for them. Or they're people who are collectors, right? Or like they're flipping a few things a month. It's a side hustle for them. They don't need to be paying, a ton of money. They don't need things running 24/7. They don't need taxes. Like, they don't care about taxes, right?
I
They do
don't.
get taxes, but they don't care about tax software.
Maybe we just won't keep track of them.
Yeah.
Man, I if I ever actually took those 1099s they sent me seriously, I'd owe a lot of money in taxes right now.
I can't believe you're putting that on record.
Yeah,
Your
that's crazy.
data is secure. So
That's
I will
good.
cut that
I was
out.
going to ask about that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
awesome.
never actually get nobody sends me those. I'm joking. I don't sell sneakers.
So have you reached out to other like big resale platforms? I'll toss like Whatnot out there. Is that something that you're all going to integrate into? There's a ton of heavy resellers on that platform. So just, the integration wise, what are some of like the top 5 integration points that you see your software being beneficial to support?
Yeah, I mean the number one thing is the marketplaces, like you said, and we're always talking to all those different platforms. So we talk to Whatnot, talk to eBay. We have constant conversations with StockX and Alias. One other interesting thing is we actually partner with people that do some things that would you might consider tangential, like authentication. So
Mhm.
we're starting to talk to people who help with the authentication process. So maybe when you scan that stuff in, it can even tell you like, hey, this might not be legit, right? Like
Don't get Hugh started on this. He doesn't believe in AI authentication. He thinks
oh
it's
yeah,
I don't
total
believe in
cap.
any
So it's
authentication. The
all
only
cap.
I only believe it's
AI's been
authentic.
struggling.
Well, I only believe it's authentic when it comes straight from the manufacturer. So if it's not, if it's a box from Nike, that's the only way I'll believe it's authentic. Even from freaking Foot Locker, I don't believe it because these people, I have no clue where any of this stuff's coming from. I've seen boxes that come into my house that look like they've been opened, so I don't even know. From Foot Locker and all these other places, GOAT and StockX, I don't even believe any of that's real. If I get a good price and it's going on my feet, the thought of it kind of being real keeps me, gives me that peace of mind. But those little tags and little punch cards that GOAT puts in there are bullshit to me. I just kind of look at it like, okay, I got another pair of shoes. I'm gonna wear these. That's why I bought them resale.
That'd
I
be
don't
cool
wanna
though if you yeah, it'd be cool if you integrated into like check or like legit. And when you when you bring the item in, it provides kind of that authentication, token based or whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I
One
think
stop shop.
we're open to working with anybody, really, right? I think some of our mentalities philosophically with business is, like free marketplace type stuff, right? Like we want to build what's best for the user, right? We want to build what's best for you. And that means being willing to work with others, right? To offer the best
Yeah.
experience, not just pigeonholing you into not working with other people, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the tough part about working within all of these apps as a small reseller. Like you said, listing the stuff, and I have a top tier account on all the platforms. Right? They reach out to me about doing a promo, listing this. Drew over here is like he gets exclusive drops from GOAT all the time, or whatever, because he sells so much on there and buys so much on there. So, but at the end of the day, it's hard to keep up with these things, especially I'm just understanding like a lot of this crap I'm not even gonna wear or even use. But
That's just a you problem. That's
no,
you.
that's a me problem. Yeah, yeah. But I do feel like that solution that you have is just great for that. That's why I admire the product. Another thing I wanted to ask you about was marketing. Once you're out and about and live, what's your plan for scaling marketing initiatives? I'm a marketer, and I think when we first talked, I know we talked for almost a couple of hours. We talked about almost everything under the sun, but like now that you have a little bit more of an understanding of the marketplace, who the players are you guys going to do things like work with influencers, work with platforms, do content around your product and all that, or even pay influencers and stuff like other people have? Is that like in your framework for marketing, or are you just gonna word of mouth it?
Hugh,
Pause.
I think that's a good question for you, Hugh. What
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh no, I want to look.
Really though.
No, I'm just happy because you guys reached out to me. I would be a brand ambassador for you guys for free. I don't really care. Just
Well, I want you to
use
like
the
our product before
platform.
you do that.
Oh no, I want to use. Look, I'm going to use the product. I'll figure it out. I like you guys anyway because I like
You
people
got to
who
use it
their
first,
brands.
right? We want to be
Yeah.
genuine. It's got to be
Yes.
authentic.
Yes. Yeah. No, but
Legit checks.
one of the things, and maybe really I want to help you guys with this, and it will be for free, because I really support if it's good and and you guys have an understanding, leverage
Smile. You might
networks.
hold you to that.
No, I'm just saying leverage some of the networks, come up with good ideas to push products out, like the product out there, and help you with a social media framework that can help you grow organically, right, through content. You know what I'm saying? And leverage all the tools like AI and all of that type of stuff to help you put out, tutorials on how to use the product, things like that. Because whenever I look up any of these, like when KNet reached out to me, when I looked at Scout, all of these things, they just paid random like tech savvy sneaker reseller types of people, right? They didn't go to the Keist Omar, Seth Fowler people like Whatnot did, because their platform is based off of that. Look,
Right.
this important person in the culture is selling me their crap. I would want, like, understanding this, we're talking sellers at scale, get local people, local resellers doing content for you, because their reach is unbelievable in their marketplace, in
Yep.
their markets, I mean.
You know,
And if they're, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, what's funny is we're actually pretty well connected, I would say, with a lot of, I wouldn't call them huge influencers in the space, but smaller to medium-sized influencers in the
Mhm.
space. Some of them are already using vaults to do their listings. So a lot of these guys are resellers, right? One of our guys is like, he's a big like run and gun, POV person. I don't know if you see these clips where they like go up to the meat to sell it, and people find this really entertaining. I think it's interesting. I don't know if it's like most
He
entertaining.
pulls out a wad
I
of
watch it
cash.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Wait, who
yeah,
is
but
it? Can you say who it is or no?
I don't know if you'd be comfortable with that. But
Okay.
the funny thing
Probably
is,
not yet.
yeah, not just yet. But
He
the one
wants
thing
to
I'll
help.
say,
He's talked to us about him doing stuff for us. So
Okay. That's
he
cool.
he did a video recently where he like did a deal with this guy, and he pulled out our app in the video.
Oh,
And we
nice.
haven't really done, to go back a little bit, we haven't really started doing any marketing just yet. But he pulled out our app in this video and just scrolled through his inventory in the app. And people in the comments were like going crazy. Like somebody had like 300 likes or 200 likes or something. I'm like, what app is that? And I'm like, really? All you saw was the inventory screen. It's like scrolling on
Nah,
StockX. You
bro.
didn't even see the rest of the product. But people trust him, right? And they like him. They like his videos. And as soon as
So
they
that
saw it,
brings
they wanted to download it. Yeah.
that brings up an interesting point, right? So if you're going to market and utilize some sort of micro influencer or whatever, are you prepared for the onslaught of the floodgate opening, right? Like everyone's going to hammer the system. So have you stress tested this? Do you know kind of how you can start to scale or look at things at scale? And is the platform, the stability of the platform there, as far as, if the floodgates open, which is a great problem to have, right?
Yeah.
You
That's
get
what I was gonna say. I
1,000
think it's
users banging on it at once. Is it going to break? Because you only get one shot at that, right? People hate when stuff doesn't work.
Well,
it's definitely easier to keep someone than to get them back.
Yes.
I will say I sure hope so. But no, I mean that goes back to our strategy with like starting out with people that have a lot of scale, that have a lot of inventory. These people are a little bit more forgiving. They understand like, okay, if I save X hours out of my week, I'm making Y amount of money back, right? So they're okay with like, okay, maybe it's a little janky in the private beta before it goes out on the app store or something. Of course, you can never be too prepared, and I hope we're ready for the onslaught. I hope we do get an onslaught that brings things down, and people don't mind that.
I would say that we're doing things in stages, right? So we're not going to release a bad product. That's just not something that like we believe in, right? One of the most difficult parts I think about starting probably any business is finding the right people to try your product and to work with you at the beginning, right? Because day one, when you haven't built anything or you just built something for the first time, it's not going to be perfect, right? So we've done a really good job at finding these, key people who not only, can they do the volume and help us test and have like the expertise and all these other things to help us, but they are more patient, right? So starting with those people, right? if they have multiple stores, maybe starting, okay, let's just do one location first, right? And we build up with them, and we do things in steps to make it as do the best we can with that, right? And then of course one day when it's out there, of course maybe things might happen sometimes. There'll be small things, and we're doing our best to prepare for that. The floodgates to be open. The key thing is, let's not open the floodgates until we want the floodgates to start opening.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
So are you doing like an MVP type strategy, or I used to call it like an MLF, most lovable feature? You kind of slow drip that out there and see, and then you constantly are enhancing, right? Like every couple of weeks you're releasing something new based upon customer feedback, those loops.
Yeah,
That's
so we're
cool.
a pretty small team. So yeah, we start out with a more simple product that we pushed out to a few people. And I think last time we talked to you, that was probably what I would call our MVP, was around that time, was when we had just finished it. And now we're a little bit past that. We have people who are using it, who are doing, millions of dollars, or they will do millions of dollars of sales this year on the platform. So yeah, I mean, I hope we're ready for a flood, of people to come on the platform, to answer your question.
As far as I remember when we last spoke, you guys are doing this fully like independently, no investors. Have you gotten any investors or interest in investment since we last talked?
Yeah, so we're actively talking to some investors right now. We'll probably be closing our first investment round next month.
Nice, congrats!
And we'll be able to speed things up a little bit. Yeah, I'm really excited to do that. Honestly, a little bit of an insight from the business world here, though. It's very distracting to have to think about going out and asking people for money, and getting on your knees.
It doesn't build your business.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's like atrophy.
I went through that. Yeah, it's weird. I went through that. Well, not asking for money, because at one point my business was very profitable, but people investing or wanting to buy and all that type of stuff is very tantalizing, because it's like someone says, "Oh, I'll give you $1 million," but you're doing $2 million in revenue. Or I mean, you guys are on the ground floor, so somebody offered you $100,000, you might be like, "Oh shit, that's that's something."
Yeah.
But if you have something and you could bootstrap it for a while and not think about it and have a small team, my best advice is to stick with that until you actually release something, and see if you can actually build a user base and build it up. Because you can see, look at the guys who built Instagram. They really, that thing, they built it out of nothing and super small team, and they cashed out $1 billion. They could have got more, but they were short sighted. But basically Instagram is built is what Meta is today as far as their advertising and all that. So you could be innovators in the sneaker marketplace, if it goes the way you plan and all these dots connect, it could be not necessarily the biggest connector to all these platforms that gives the individuals, whether it's resellers or collectors, the power to control the marketplace. Really, I think the prices would be fairer. Considering if you see everything going on, it's going to be harder to manipulate pricing across the board. I would think that, because you see, Drew and I know this, people going on platforms like StockX and selling to each other, right? And doing all this other stuff. So if more people are aware of how the market's actually moving, all those random $800 for that shoe, and everybody marks it up to $800 will go away. Because somebody selling to another reseller or something just to move markets. But this will probably bring a little more fairness to the marketplace.
And if I had any advice, not that you asked for it, but
go ahead.
To me,
no, we love it.
Things that live and die it's the user experience. So if you're creating a frictionless user experience, people are willing to pay. Because they don't have to worry about it, right? It's not aggravating. I'm not scanning a barcode and it's pulling back the wrong information all the time, or I can't keep track of things, or when I go to sell on multiple platforms, it's listing them all kind of janky. So I think, not that you can ever do perfection, right? You should never strive for perfection, but good. So this is good enough, and we're at good. So user experience to me is kind of where the rubber meets the road. People will love you or hate you based on that.
I
Mhm.
definitely obsess way too much about user experience. Probably
You can't.
to an
You can't
unhealthy
obsess too
extent.
much. It's good. It's good.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me. You know,
I
it's nice to
totally
hear.
agree.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's
saying.
that's how pretty do you need things to look sometimes. So, but I think honestly, that's I think one of the reasons we've been so successful early on is like when you're starting out, like you can't. There's certain things you can't do to compete with a larger company. Right? You don't have the budget. You're not going to do the same marketing, right? Yeah, sure, you could start with local people. Like you could really do some, you could really make some headwinds there, but you can't. You don't have the same tools in your arsenal. But one of the ways you can compete, right, is a large company. They can't provide the same level of customer service to millions of people, right?
Mhm.
When you're smaller like us, right, and we don't have a million customers, right, we can really focus on bringing a great experience to those people, right? So, we get on calls all the time with the people using our product, right? We go out and we meet with them. We're very hands on right now and doing a really good job of before we go public, especially to really create that really incredible user experience because we're in the same we have the same belief as you and how important that is, and that's something we're always gonna be true to.
I love
That's
that.
amazing.
Are you guys recording any of that? Like, are you capturing any of that on video? Like, that's great social media content, right?
I
The
agree.
the success story, right? Like, hey, this is kind of how we got here, or this is kind of the process. People love to watch the process.
Mhm.
I do. For whatever reason, I'm one of those people, but that process is intriguing. It's almost like the documentary aspect of things.
I really do want to start recording some of the stuff we do. Like something we did over the last few months is John flew out to one of our customers and helped him get over 1,000 items onto Vault.
Oh
So
wow.
Wow.
yeah, he flew out to
Stickers.
Columbus. Yeah, met up with one of our sellers and sat there, drank Red Bull for like a week straight.
Yeah,
And
it was not healthy, but yeah, I did some stuff to do that.
I wish I was there to record that because it was like
How,
hilarious getting on a call with them and he's like half asleep and he's like, which button do I press right now, right?
how many items did you have to scan in?
I mean, it was at least 750, 1,000, and it's multiple photos per shoe, right? Because
That's it?
for used shoes, right? I mean,
Oh, they're
pre-owned, right?
used.
Like
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're all
pre-owned, right? You might be taking 8 photos per sneaker,
Bro,
whatever.
I'll fly you. I'll fly you out here to take pictures of my collection for the app. I don't. I don't have that many. And they're all dead stock. So all you got to do is scan a bunch of labels. I don't want to do it. I will
It was
pay you to
definitely a
come out
nice.
here and do that.
He got a good deal. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yes, he did. He got a great
Okay.
deal. But that's what we do for the people that we have. We want to be there for them, make that experience great, not just in the software, but also the customer service, like John's
Yeah.
saying.
No, that's
And sometimes showing up in person and doing a little bit of legwork is what it takes.
see that's a good mentality to have in business. To, the customer service aspect, the fact that you are really into user experience and making the connections. Because again, this you're on our platform for the second. Well, you reached out to me obviously, and I've been raving about that. Just like the experience of talking to you guys, because coming from a tech background, being a sneaker collector, owning a business, we related on so many levels, and I felt like we made a genuine connection. And the fact that you guys kept in touch during that process. Like Sage emails me randomly and says, "Oh, I just saw one of your episodes. I thought it was hilarious." I was like, "Wow, whatever." And I'm like, "That's crazy." So, and it's leading to this, actual engagement on the platform. So I'm hoping it'll be helpful in getting the word out, but also I hope that you guys understand that a product like this does mean a lot to the culture, at least the culture as it is right now. And I feel like it can evolve because the way you're talking about it and the path that you're taking, it's going to help collectors no matter where the industry leads as far as reselling, because it can stem from social media all the way out to eBay, this, that, and you're saying even like platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, all that junk. So it's like you're helping people kind of, well, number one, connect with customers, and two, and hopefully at all levels, you know, at some point help people move product, make money, and start their own reselling business. You know, because look, again, I'm not big on resell. I hate big store resellers. You know, I hate the J2 kicks. I hate cool kicks. I hate
What a transition.
yeah, no, I hate them all. Like as far as what they
Hot take.
represent. No, it's what they represent as far as
It's like
the
I love
culture.
everything about it except I hate resellers.
Yeah.
No, I saw they call me in the group here, like our group chat. They always call me a real seller. That I'm not a real sneaker collector because I'll let go of something for the right price. Right?
Right.
And there's shoes that I adore that I have not put on my feet because I know I could sell them for a shit ton of money. So they're like, "Oh, you're not a real sneakerhead or whatever." I'm like, "I don't care. I got money to make. I can always buy the sneaker again." What is this? Come on. But I've never liked where reselling has taken the culture because there's a lot of artificial value put behind these things.
Yeah.
And to people like Drew and myself who are sitting here like like we're trying to downsize our collections, and there's not that many real sneaker people to sell to anymore. And I've never had it. I've just started, but Drew knows this. How hard, like when he's downsized, I'm assuming you had no problem offloading a bunch of shoes when back in the day, right?
No.
Now
Well,
it's impossible.
like I would say 5 years ago, it was much easier. Now
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's haggle, right? Like you're
Mhm.
just constantly being beaten up over price differently than it was before. So it's annoying.
Yeah.
The one thing I'd say about reselling is just like anything else, there's two sides to it, right? There's kind of the negative side, which you can look at it from that angle of like there's people who are gaming it, there's people who are botting and all this stuff, right? And they're preventing you from getting the stuff that you want as somebody who's a true sneakerhead or whatever the product is that you're reselling. And then there's kind of the other perspective, which is the perspective I like to take. Of course, I'm a little biased, but the perspective I like to take, which is, you know, you're giving new life to these products, right? Like you have stuff sitting in your house right now that maybe somebody would actually wear because you're not wearing it, right? Like somebody would actually enjoy. And even the guys that do it at scale are facilitating that at scale. They're giving life to those products, getting into the hands of people who might actually, you know, enjoy them, use them, embrace those things in their lives. Right?
I have a lot of stuff like that. Yeah. Whenever I've sold more recently shoes that I've had been holding for 5 or 6 years that I forgot I had because they're just listed on GOAT or something, right? And then I see a sale coming, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I had that. Oh, but I'll let it go for $400. You know, like and that's always been my mentality about it. Sorry, I guess I am a seller, but I still don't, the culture around
You'll set
reselling.
above market and just wait.
Oh, way above. Yeah, like, oh, when it hits like this, or people like I see these guys on social media. Like, I just bought all the fire red Jordan 5s, and I thought they would resell for $300, and I bought a bunch for $280, and I'm broke now. I'm like, you're stupid
Right.
for buying, like, why? And you're on social media, knowing that you're making money off the social media and all of this, and then you're saying that you're broke. No, you're not. You're getting a check from Meta and TikTok. It
Yep.
might not be as much as all those sneakers you just wasted your money on, but at least you got some content out of it.
Yep.
So, I mean, the culture's in a shitty place right now, in my opinion. It's always, I mean, we're going back like
I don't
stuff,
know.
it's always-
I don't think the culture's in a shitty place. I will say this, and it's no shade to anybody, but resale has changed the culture.
I agree with
Before a lot of the resale platforms, it was, hey, we're going to get together, we're going to trade, or I have a shoe you've been looking for, vice versa. You didn't really price gouge like this. It was more of a community. But now everything's a commodity, so it's all capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, and I can't appreciate.
Which is good. I mean,
yeah,
it's good and bad. It's good and bad.
Yeah, and since I came in late to the game, all I've seen is that resale culture. So I don't really. I don't understand the whole camping outside of a Foot Locker for a pair of shoes.
Man.
I
Awesome.
bet it was. Yeah, can't wait to do it one day. And I can't imagine. Like, to those things are foreign to me. Like I'm like, hey, if it's not.
You ever camped outside a store?
No, who does that
Ever in your life?
I've gone early to buy an Apple iPhone. That's about it.
Okay,
I've
you have
stood
the
in
experience
line.
a little bit.
I've never stood out in the cold though. It's always, they drop in the fall.
It's like it's the
that's where
journey, man.
Yeah, that's where you meet the real people that are this is part of their DNA. you really start to develop
Strange
those
DNA, bro.
relationships. Yeah.
That's a strange DNA. I get it, and I get the community. Look, if me and a bunch of friends were doing it, but a lot of my friends aren't like into sneakers like I am now. And
To Hugh's point, though, I mean, there's people who pay people to stand outside to get sneakers for you at the expense of the people who care too.
yeah,
You know, so I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
yeah. I'm just, but I'm tired of brain
Sounds a little
broken
jaded.
over a lot of this stuff. Jaded, brain broken. No, it's just not really. It's just I look. I'm into content. When I watch this content and I look at these people just trying to capitalize off of it, like
Yeah.
they're undercutting people as they come in the store and on the resale stores. And you see the stuff, right? They go in there like,
Mhm.
oh, it's going for 400 on StockX, but look, it's a little off. The box is ripped. I'll give you $150. I'm like, what?
Coin flip.
Yeah, coin flip, whatever. All this nonsense, and I get it. It's part of the whole game. You know, we all have to coexist. The sneaker conventions. I think I like some of the. I know you guys. Well, you've been to Got Soul or in SneakerCon and all that, right? I'm starting to like Got Soul a little bit more, but it's slowly turning into SneakerCon. The same way they like with all the social media and the way they bring celebrities around, and then like all these resellers who have shoes I've never seen or heard of, and they're
Everyone's
like,
got the Freddy Kruegers, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
literally, there was 36 pairs ever made, yet every reseller's got like 5 pairs of them. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
silly.
and they're selling them open. You know, this is all cultural stuff. I know you guys probably can't. You're like, what are they talking about? But it's it's little things like that that kind of make me feel like a sense of
So, do you think
I
it's
don't know
bad?
this thing.
It's bad for the culture of the industry, or there's just more people in it, and some of that culture is still there? You
I
know?
think it just Drew
That's
can
a good
answer that
question.
question better.
So I think there's a rite of passage to the sneaker culture, right? Like you have the old heads like me that have been in it 20 years. And
More than
it's
20 years.
we see the culture being torn apart, right? As,
You look like it's been 10 years. So
yeah, thanks. I'm old as dirt. But you know, it literally it feels like the resale culture has been kind of that culture vulture, right? It really has changed. But you can't stop change. So embrace it. To me, the hardest thing about the resale culture is the real versus fake. I mean, it's really muddied the water when it comes to
Mhm.
people trying to flip reps, and the reps are good now, right? They look, they're not perfect, thank God, but that has really been a challenge where I think that's the intersection of problems when it becomes, am I getting a real shoe? And it's spawned a whole new industry, authentication, right? So now you have to deal with another layer. So there's just lots of layers now that we didn't have to worry about before.
Yeah.
you know, I see reselling. I'm gonna say pay as you. I see the resellers coming in and becoming big. It's a natural part of what happens when something gets really popular and big, and a lot of people are interested in it. I don't see anything wrong with it, but yeah, the fakes when when you got someone who's a collector and someone who wants a pair of shoes and they don't even know it's real. Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, and you get that a lot, especially with the peer-to-peer platforms or the face-to-face platforms. You hear about people getting robbed for and meetups to like agree to do stuff on like Facebook Marketplace.
That's always been there.
Yeah,
That's always been there.
But that's one thing that's
technology
good about,
that, unfortunately.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the robbing element.
Yeah, the technology, besides them robbing us of money, does help stop some of this physical engagement that you might have. Sort of like how Uber makes it easier to take a taxi cab or whatever now. Like it gives you, but there's a cost to that, obviously. And then there's a marketplace that's always kind of inflated or deflated in some cases. There's shoes that are way under market that I feel are under market value or whatever. And everybody has to get a cut, like the seller, the platform, the authentication, all that stuff. So everybody's trying to eat off of these trends. But again, like that's one of these things that I look at, and I'm very, I try to be objective about it. But the person who wants to make money off of this says, "Oh, I hate everybody." So it's like, that's why I kind of admire what you guys are doing. You're kind of giving every man an opportunity to, list their products on every platform, make it easier for, you know, big and small collectors and stores and whatever to do something and use their own, you know, accounts to plug into it, and whatever cut you take, which you know, I think a ton of people will be willing to pay.
People
From
love
there.
convenience, right?
Convenience
People
is
pay,
key, yeah.
that's in this day and age, people are willing to pay for convenience because
Yeah.
we have no patience anymore, right? So that lack of patience drives, hey, if I can make this more frictionless, seamless, and just more convenient, I'm willing to pay a little bit of money for that. I mean,
And it
hell,
frees
look at
your
all the
time up
streaming
for the fun
apps.
stuff.
Yeah. What'd you say, John? What'd you say?
And it frees your time up for the fun stuff too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you feel this is an interesting question for y'all? So there's always tiers, like one app plugs into another app to another app to another app. Do you feel like you are the final boss in this, or final tier of apps that connect to apps? Like, what can it connect to you guys after this that makes it easier to do the next thing?
Are you the Koopa Troopa?
Have you put thought in it? Because that would be the app that kind of, it doesn't kill you, but it kind of puts you in another category, because you're gonna have company, like, let's just say you and KNet, and then there's a seller that's using both of you. So what's the app that connects both of those platforms? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, is there? Do you think that this is as far down as we can go?
I would say, you know, KNet, if you're listening, we're open to partnering with you guys, so we can
Work
make it.
together.
We can have a great
Yeah.
thing going, you know. But no, I think there's always going to be room in the market, like John said earlier, for
Yeah.
technologies. I don't foresee us ever getting into fulfillment, just because like that's not our bread and butter.
Yeah.
We don't want to be handling the products. We think the sellers know what's best for their, you know, their inventory. Also, one thing that we haven't really got into that I think is huge is like sourcing. So finding good deals, right? Finding good purchasing opportunities. I think the sellers, a lot of the people we talk to, they usually know better than us about where to find those. And the guys that are running technologies for those services, like, they're doing good. They have that stuff already pretty figured out. And I don't know if we want to try to go up against them. I think our specialty is really, you know, how do I sell stuff? How do I do it efficiently? How do I do it easily with convenience, like you said, scan things in and make that whole process simple. And then
that sourcing thing is interesting. Would it be something where you're finding the best price for a shoe or apparel or whatever across all platforms? Because that's something I always try to do, competitive, like, pricing, and I hate flipping from one app to another. So that's pretty cool, because they already have things where they say, hey, this has been marked down, right? But it's always like they take the size that's marked down the most. It'd be like a size 6. I'm a size 12, and it's like, oh, it's going for $150, and then it's a $300 shoe. Like, oh shit, $150. You go look, and your size is $400, and then you know, the size 6 is $150. So if you can do that stuff by, you know, like that's a compelling feature.
Bots are expensive.
Yeah, bots
are expensive.
Yeah. But I would say it's we're pretty connected with some people that are building technology for sourcing, specifically, like, it helps you find retail opportunities, like, you know, just retailers selling this particular SKU or model below market price. The problem is, actually, the better you get at that, the worse the product gets with sourcing, because the more people you have using it, the less opportunities there are.
Well, it drives prices up then, and that's a profit that adds to your margin.
It drives prices up, but like, if I'm a guy trying to find deals and everybody else is getting the same deals, then like the deals go away, and then the software stops being as useful. The bots start.
There's still going to be cheap price. That's interesting you say that, because I was just thinking of a profit sharing model. So if you do work with those companies and you plug into them, like, when a sale is made, you guys profit share, and then and you probably let's do it as a percentage of the cost of the shoe. I don't know what you're going to charge as your rates on whatever, but you could think about it like, hey, I find you the best deal, the deal closes, we get our small little nut off of that, and then you split it with your partners. If the markets go up because of that, I think you guys as a platform win, but that doesn't really help the people. Then, you know, that people start hating you. But I think that it's a good thing for, you know, a business to make money. I'm just looking at it objectively. Like, if you kind of like bring the markets back up where they're more competitive, like, hey, I sourced all these deals for you and people are buying them up, that rejuvenates the marketplace, right?
It's-
In my
I think
opinion.
I think the reality is though, like when you're buying stuff online, there's very short transient buying opportunities, that kind of like come and go. That's what a lot of that sourcing stuff is for, is like, it's the bots, it's those monitoring systems that are looking for those buying opportunities, help you find that stuff. Like, I don't know if it's gonna raise the whole market. I'd be surprised if it had that capability. I think it's more like there's a market price and like those sourcing opportunities are like a dip that a bunch of people are gonna go grab. If you have
I
this
know, but
audience
they're
model.
not aware of those opportunities. So let's just say you're selling bunch of like basic ass Adidas Sambas, right?
Mhm.
And somebody gets them all for $60 and just buys them all off of StockX and buys them all off of GOAT, right? Now you're just saying, oh, the whole resale marketplace is clear. I still want to buy these resale, and then when they get them, they mark them up $15, and now the no bottom price is a little bit higher,
Yeah.
right? So, like, I'm just saying, like, it raises the marketplace in general. And I don't know, are you going to tap into retail stores as well? Is that an option? Like, is there an API to like get into Foot Locker and JD Sports and all that stuff so you can see their listings?
Maybe anything's possible, man.
I mean, that might be an interesting, because that price matching, seeing where things are falling. Like, is a shoe above or below retail? I would assume even scraping their sites would be easy, because they don't, they're pretty static on the like their types of, they don't move things in and out that quickly. So that might be an option, just scraping sites with bots to get the numbers in.
See, Hugh's the problem in the sneaker culture, right? He's talking about money, inflation, buying in bulk, right? He's the problem. He's the problem.
I am not the problem. I'm trying to get these guys, make their platform even better so they can make a ton of money.
The one thing I would say on price scraping actually is right now we already show like the StockX pricing and the alias pricing. We'd like to have like the eBay pricing as well. Right now we have like the ability for you to go check out the sold searches on eBay, which is a little time saver. You don't have to go over to eBay and hit all the boxes, type in what the item is, right? But what you're saying about scraping retailers as well, I think that would be awesome, right? If you had all that price information in one place for the sellers.
I could cut this part out if you don't want us to put it to the public. It's fine. Like, we're literally having like a brainstorming session here. But
no, it's fine. There's people. I mean, there's people working on different sourcing methods and scraping prices and stuff like that. The key thing for us is what is it that adds? There's so many things we can do, right? And technologically, there isn't really much that isn't possible, right?
Yeah.
Is how do we figure out what is it that adds the most value to people in the community, and figuring out like what should we prioritize, basically.
Yeah, and and every good idea is a great idea when you can execute on it. I think that's the quote, or I just made that up. I don't know. Execution is a big part of this. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, what I learned being in tech is that you can have the most brilliant idea. Like, I got an app that'll cure cancer. If you can't build it, then there's no point in having an idea. You know what I mean? Or and all that. You guys have really followed through, and I'm very, very impressed with where you've gone in the last like 7-8 months since we last spoke.
Likewise, man. I'm impressed where you've gone.
Where have I gone? Into debt. Buying too much bullshit. No, I mean,
hopefully we can help you out with that.
You got to resell a little bit more. So
yeah, I've got to get rid of some. But no, I'm happy we've developed the platform a little bit. We have a very Drew and I actually do a politics podcast that's fairly large right now, at least on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah.
Can I get on that one?
What are your politics? No, we're totally.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
You may want to pause.
Well, I don't look. We're always open to those types of conversations.
Any PR is good PR, right?
Yeah,
that's what
like
they say.
I love one of our big things. Not to shift topics away from that. I don't know what your politics are. Are you lefty or righty? Like, I
guess right down the middle.
Oh, you're down the middle. See that?
I'm one of those guys.
Money, money's for everybody. Anybody can be our customer.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down the middle as well. I'm a capitalist, but I also don't mind paying taxes. But at the end of the day, I'm a little left leaning. But
Except
as I get
the
older,
ones you avoid.
Yeah, obviously my accountant's very good at certain things, but I don't. Like, when we talk about politics, our podcast is called Casual Politics. We're trying to have conversations about how to be kind of in the middle, look at things objectively. but it's so weird how the world is working nowadays, where you can't be objective about anything. Everything is based off the herd or cult mentality, one side or the other. I don't even and with all the stuff that's kind of going on now in Minneapolis
Yep.
or Minnesota or whatever, like it's kind of, to me, it's kind of showing like where we're at as a society, that we only believe what we want to believe. You know, that what's that quote? You make your own truth or whatever. Like that's bullshit. The truth is the truth. Like to me, like if there's only like, you don't have your own truth. Like if you rob the store and you justify it by saying X, Y, or Z, you still rob the fucking store. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's always been my look at those things. I don't know.
well,
Truth is
That was a
I'll say
weird
this.
tangent here.
yeah. It is a weird.
Well,
Sorry.
I'm
No, it's
curious. I
fine.
want to keep hearing this.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. I mean, I don't think this is political at all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that I think are just good, right? Being able to listen to people with different opinions and listen to the other side, and genuinely try to listen to them and to be objective, right? And there's a lot of stuff that's happening, right? That's more emotional based sometimes, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I think anybody can agree, right, that dialogue's important and things like that.
I mean, you can say that, but if there's no conclusion or if there's no resolution, especially in the government, what's the point of having the dialogue, right? Everybody wants their way, and there's no middle ground. And we see that today, and a lot of the special interests like fucking up things, but nobody actually blames them. They always say they're saying that we're in our society now, we're punching down rather than up. Meaning, like the problem really is like some of these billionaires and stuff like that are controlling the politicians and controlling our social media and all that type of stuff. So
I think the key question is, how do we get them to punch in the vault?
I mean,
yes.
I was waiting for the transition back to see.
I was like, that's good.
Good. I mean, the guy from
Landed
Apple
it.
likes sneakers, I think, right? He gets some Travis. He might have to.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, really?
He was at the White House the other day too.
He's watching that
Yeah.
Melania movie. I mentioned I got to stick with Steve. We're having a viewing party at the house.
Oh man, I heard
Yeah.
that. That's trash.
One thing that frustrates me about politics nowadays is I feel like there's always things happening that justify both sides, and society is so extreme right now.
Yeah.
And it can be very hard. Like if you're a conservative or if you're a liberal, it can be very hard to like read an article and then realize this actually goes against what you believe nowadays. And I mean, I know it's always been like this, right? But like, I feel like it's even harder with social media now to like be like, oh, I just read something, maybe Trump did something that was actually good, and you're a liberal, and you have to like swallow that. Like it was actually not a bad, or maybe ICE is like really bad as a conservative, and you have to actually like come to terms with that, right? Like
they don't want to though. Neither side does. I've given props on our podcast to Trump for doing certain things during this administration. I mean, we've only done a handful of episodes, but when he does something good, I'll give him props. He did a lot of good things during his first term, in my opinion. Yeah. Right, and I hated Obama. I didn't think Obama was a good. Well, he was a good president. But I didn't like a lot of his policies.
So if you take this conversation and steer it into sneakers can be very polarizing, right? So we did an episode about lace swaps. Yes,
lace swaps.
So the culture or the environment right now feels very charged. We talked about lace swaps. We got so many hateful comments or so many interesting comments about swapping laces in a particular pair of sneakers that really rubbed people the wrong way. So everything is so charged right now. So it's nice to know that you have an impartial platform that you can just, hey, I can sell anywhere I want. Right? One-stop shopping and one-stop selling.
I don't think sneakers have a political party.
I don't know about
do is like you were saying before, like it's a great equalizer technology in some ways, right? Like we let people use our platform however they want and think is best for them. We're not here to be the judge and the jury.
Yeah. I think a lot of that when they, like some of these tastemakers say you have to do this or that. And I think a lot of the hate that comes, StockX has just dug their own hole with that, with the bad authentication. And rushing
but stock, through. if you double, so I've been helping StockX on certain levels for years. which hasn't gone very far. But in any case, their customer service is their big problem.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
real.
Yep.
Their customer service is terrible, right?
Yeah.
You're chatting with a bot. There's no interaction. You got to wait days for an email. You're all uptight especially if you sold a bulk item or bulk items. So
Oh,
it's
so I was going to use your iPhone
frustrating.
camera. Sorry, Drew.
Yeah. No, you're fine. It's just frustrating. So I think that is, you all mentioned it as well, is customer service is important. You flew out and helped somebody take pictures of their shoes, right? That white glove service is unique in the market now because many people they don't have the ability to do that, or it's too expensive and you can't scale it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll figure out a way to scale it. But
Yeah.
we'll
That
see.
one-on-one engagement is
we're
great.
we're always gonna have top service over here.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell when it comes to those types of things.
You know what? But I know that you'll tell me. So
I will.
You'll
I
help,
will
you'll
email
help
you
make
guys.
it,
Yeah.
right. But that's how you get better, right? We need people like you who just people who can be objective and can just say it respectfully how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this community is so close knit with sneakers that as soon as you take a misstep when it comes to customer service or something, everybody knows about it.
It'll be all over Reddit.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be like, "Don't use those guys. Don't sell through those guys. They messed something up for me." I mean,
Is there any chatter about you on platforms like Reddit that kind of keep up on the nitty gritty of the culture when it comes to this stuff?
Yeah, I would say the funny thing is one of the earliest people we talked to when I started working on this. So I started by myself. John came on a little bit later. Was Reddit. That was one of the earliest platforms that we actually started talking to people.
Yeah.
About building this idea. So yeah, we're on some threads on Reddit, like people specifically talking about I keep double selling stuff, or how can I manage my inventory? I have more than 50 things. How can I do this and not have to think about it every day about whether I'm going to make a sale somewhere and have to take it down somewhere and record my profits or whatever it is. But no, I think going back to your question on marketing, those platforms, Reddit, Instagram, all these different social media sites are going to be huge because as fast as they'll say bad things about you, is as fast as they'll say good things about you.
Yep.
Right? So.
Yep. That's what part of my business is doing. That we do a lot of the hidden marketing of some music stuff, and I think I told you guys about that. We do music marketing, and right now our biggest thing is pushing messaging onto Reddit, and now even Pinterest. We're testing Pinterest because Pinterest now kind of they have a more open media platform, like with videos and all types of stuff up there now.
Pinterest,
So,
wow.
yeah. So Pinterest. I mean,
great.
look, for sneakers and stuff like that, mood boards with clothing and
It's
fashion
a
design.
thing.
It's a thing, and people are just plugging in whatever. So engagement is key, and getting people to associate you with good style and thinking and all that type of stuff, being a thought leader. That's why those platforms, I believe, is the next phase of social media. Instagram, TikTok is pretty much dead since Oracle bought it. And they killed it over the weekend pretty much. Now, mind you, I'm a tech guy. I understand moving from server to server and server outages.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You too, you get it too.
Oracle. Wait a minute. Oracle. The largest.
Last company
Every
Oracle.
company runs on Oracle. You're telling me one data center down one of the largest social media platforms? No.
In the United States.
I'm not buying
Well, no,
it.
I was alluding to that as bullshit, that what happened.
Thank you.
Because what I noticed is I was posting all this stuff for clients and myself over the weekend, making sure 0 views, this and that. And then certain things were still stuck in some kind of TikTok limbo, and I'm like, come on, bro. I know what they're doing already, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. It'll turn to what Twitter or X is now, just a wasteland of bum fights and OnlyFans. Yeah, all that shit. You go in there looking for news, and then you flip into the For You page on. Do you guys still go on X or Twitter? Or
those are algorithms, Hugh. If they're shown that,
that's what I want.
Oh,
yeah, right. On every one of my accounts, right? I have an account specifically for that, and then when I go to my regular account, which only follows
You have a specific account for that?
No, I do. Yeah, of course. You got what they call a Finsta, right? You got one of those accounts where you just follow like girls and
pull that up.
No, no, it's not even. It's on another phone in another. It's in another house. But like,
Another
there.
IP behind
Yeah,
Maybe we should get your wife on the podcast.
My wife has her own podcast. She talks about those. But no, it's nah, it's yeah, it's kind of interesting how they did that like over a weekend, and it sparked like this whole like rebellion against the app. I just
They're
saw an
just slowing down
article.
your posts now.
No, they are. Yeah. I can pull up now like 5 of the posts that I posted on our politics page. Took 2 days to go up, and 2 of them were stuck in this like we can't show it to people and had to approve it, appeal it. I mean, and then the views are way down. We have 50,000 like followers on the page, and we average about what like 2,000 to
Yeah, a couple
infinity
thousand
views.
views.
Yeah, a couple of thousand views right out the gate. These only got like 400 views, 200 views. And I'm like, what? And they were good clips. And I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on here? You know, so I see where it's headed, and it's definitely down that whole, you know, Elon Musk Twitter thing that happened. And mind you, like I said, I go on Twitter for that bullshit stuff if I want to see it, if I want to see Elon Musk talk shit, which is always fun. But it's not a great platform for you to actually get information anymore. It's more, I wouldn't even say propaganda. It's just
the
flop.
sneaker information is still really quick on Twitter or on X. I will say I get a lot of notifications like instant. They're the fastest outside of Soul Retriever that gets me that release information the quickest.
See that's that's such a niche category, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of niche categories that are winning on Twitter or X. But when it comes to just information, getting like objective news coverage or specific,
you're not getting
left
there.
like if you want to go left leaning or right, whatever. Yeah, you're not. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can. You have to actually search it out, and that's the tough part. I like instant gratification. I want to see, I want to see Bernie Sanders and these people talking before I see fucking, God rest his soul, Charlie Kirk or whoever. Like I don't know. God bless his soul. Like I don't want to go to jail.
That was a smart pause. I was like, is it too soon?
No, God rest his soul. We love you, Charlie. I would never say anything bad about you. Ice, if you're listening, don't abduct me. We're good. Like, so I don't want like that. Like we still see a shit ton of that information for no reason at all, while other things are being suppressed. And it sucks. It's not fun anymore. I mean, I'm almost in a couple of years. It's probably going to be like Instagram or Facebook already kind of went down that.
But people want genuine stuff, though, right? Like I'm sure. If that did go that way, then I'm sure something else would hopefully pop up.
Another application or something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this maybe goes back to my free market thing, right? People have the choice, right? And even if more people start, maybe I don't know, maybe there will be less people interested in that, right? There's still going to be, I want objective stuff, you want objective stuff, right? There's maybe it's harder. And there's and especially with AI, right, faking so many things right now, it's super tough to distinguish between stuff. But there's certainly a market for, real.
I guess, and considering, I know you guys are in your 20s, right?
Oh yeah, he's not.
I'm 30. I just turned 33, man.
Oh, 33? You look good for 33.
Thank you. I try not to tell people how old I am, right?
You look like you're in
20s. Everyone I work with is in like their 20s, so I try to keep it that way.
No, you look like you're in your 20s. Drew is, I'll let you, right. I'm going to be 47 this year. Drew is significantly older than me. But
not significantly.
No, but old people, and I hate to say this, I'm kind of set in my ways. I just started liking TikTok. It took me 4 years to start enjoying using TikTok when my little nieces have been using it since they were 5 years old and doing dances and shit. Now I'm like, all right, I like TikTok. And all of a sudden it's like shit now. Right. Yeah. And then Twitter fell off and all these getting used to a new platform for an old person is tough. And that's all these newer, there's another competitor to TikTok that's starting to get more signups now. Upscrolled. Yeah. So those, having to move myself over there. Upscrolled. Yeah.
Upscrolled.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that one. Wow.
We got to start moving all our stuff, and there's like Blue Sky instead of Twitter. I don't even go on Blue Sky. I just post all our shit on there because it's an app that we have to post our shit on. And if I see engagement, You follow me on I don't even know what our username is, to be honest with you. But
You got to start
it's
posting
there.
the Substack.
Yeah, Substack. No, I heard Substack was owned by Oracle too, like
Ah,
by
nice.
through
It's
a
a
venture
conspiracy.
capital. Yeah,
Even
no,
better.
it's there's a ton of like the consolidation of the social media apps is really crazy, and I hope it's just not gonna turn into like a big propaganda network where
Right.
and you know
Like it
like
already is. Yeah.
well,
So,
it's
but-
sort of is, yeah.
But a question to bring it back to the Vault app or the Vault.
Are you guys gonna
software.
spread
Yeah, let's
propaganda?
promote
No.
vaults.
Yeah, I'm
Will it be a
curious.
social media platform? Is that your question?
Right? Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool social media platform. But how can we find you? Are you soft launching? Like, do you have a kind of launch date? You know, kind of give us a timeline or a view into, you know, how we can get access, get more information, and understand where you are in the marketplace as far as releasing.
Sure, yeah. So here, I'll put a link in the chat and I'll say it out loud as well. But this is our wait list. So if you want to go to this wait list and reach
Put it on
out
the
to us
screen.
here, if you want to go to that link, reach out to us there. We'll follow back with you. Like I said before, we're really focused on people who have scale because they're a little more understanding. They know exactly what they need, right? They know what channels they're selling on, what products that they're trying to sell, right? But for all the people that are, collectors, or you're just doing reselling on the side, you have a 9 to 5, but you're side hustling. We're going to be there for you as well. It might be a little bit later, probably halfway through this year, or end of the year, probably. But yeah, definitely reach out to us. Even if you're just like a smaller guy as well, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. And
I just signed
one of
up for
those-
your wait list. I
Perfect.
just put
Thanks so much.
my hat in the ring. Sure.
Oh yeah, and it's not. It cuts off the URL, but it's waitlist.usevault.app.
You can put it
Okay.
in the show notes too, right?
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes.
And maybe if
Thank
you're lucky, John will fly out to you and do 1,000 listings for you guys.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. You need to do all that. I will document some of the process though and make it into a piece of content. I feel like that'll be helpful. As
Awesome.
as
That's
one of your
exciting.
brand ambassadors here. So
I'd love to see
I
that.
remember you telling us that before. I mean, we should be doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
So much to do is in our issue.
No, I mean you got to get the community involved. And I'm so sorry I never like you sent me that app of that the link to the early version of the app months ago.
Mhm.
And I started I think I might have registered, but I never actually listed anything because I
I think
sat
you linked
there.
your account, so you didn't add any
You looked
products.
at my
or anything.
account. I didn't add anything. No, I just I
You
looked
know
at
what you
my.
did.
Oh, yeah, you're tracking me. But it's and I openly admit that I
not
am it's that bad. But at that point in time, between like KNet was harassing me to use their application and their services, and you guys actually came along at the same time, and then we started doing the podcast like more frequently. I think you guys talked to me right when I was like starting up the pod. We were only a few episodes in. I was like, we got to have you on, and getting you here has been great. So I'm hoping later on down the line, as you guys grow larger, we can have you back. Always obviously want to keep in contact and keep
Hopefully, we'll be able to sponsor the podcast.
I mean, yeah.
Oh
we take
yeah.
money.
Hey,
Hey,
and
we-
love to
we-
see a demo too.
Oh.
Like maybe we can do
Yeah,
kind of
100%.
a demo would be cool.
Oh yeah, demo would be great. Yeah, we take money for doing things, man. I've been trying to. Yeah,
Hey, look, you
Masad
keep
hit us
giving
up.
us-
We'll take money from anybody.
You keep giving us free ideas,
also
we'll
like-
kick it back to you.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I honestly, we've only gotten shitty like opportunities for brand deals. Like, oh, can you sell these socks on consignment or whatever? And all the regular ones, like the stupid shoe cleaners and stuff, always hit me up, and I'm just like, no, I don't really feel like doing that because the audience isn't quite there yet. But we do well on social media. That's the good part. Our like TikTok and Instagram following is very, very engaged. So I'm happy about that. But obviously it's about growing the platform, and I appreciate you guys being here as part of that growth process, and I'm appreciate being part of your growth process too. I'm gonna set up that app this weekend, start listing my stuff. So any more questions, Drew? Or are you good? 'Cause I think you gotta.
If you had to leave the listeners with like kind of one statement about the product, what would you leave them with? Like how are you going to keep them hungry?
I like to envision a day 5 years from now when all you have to do is take a photo of a pile of stuff in your house, and it gets sold for a lot of money that you can pocket and go spend the next day. And that's as simple as selling is. You don't have to deal with
Make money
apps.
while you sleep.
Make money
Take
while
money
you
while
sleep.
you sleep.
And
I love it.
that's what we're trying to do, man. I think we're on the road there. We just started. We have some great customers already working with us, and yeah, if anybody watching wants to reach out, let's make it happen.
Well, I got to
Seems like
say, I'm super impressed. The two of you are very articulate, very well spoken. You have a clear vision, and I'm excited to see how far you can take this. So appreciate the sharing of all the IP as well.
Yeah. Like I said,
All
I
the
was
trade
impressed.
secrets.
I was impressed when I first met you guys. It being again having this tech background, more on the data side, but sitting in those rooms with those guys and having these same conversations really brings me back to a great time in my life where money was flowing and
And you didn't have to sell your stuff.
wasn't a thing. I didn't have to sell
Yeah.
my stuff. I didn't own a house. None of this bullshit. My wife is great though. I love her. So is my. Other than that, yeah, like more money, more problems.
You got to put that one in there. You can't forget that.
Gotta forget the dog. But yeah, as you guys start, I mean, you're still young. You got, we got almost 20 years on both of you. Well, definitely 20 years on you, Sage. But we have,
I
as
feel
you
old,
grow,
man. I shouldn't say that to you guys, but I feel old.
you feel old.
You know, with the younger generation, they call you. You know what they say? They call you unk. You know what that is?
Yeah,
I'm
believe
not
me.
an uncle.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I'm a granddad now. Like,
Yeah,
even though
I'm
in my
OG.
40s. Unk is like
I'm
a 30 year
past
old.
Unk. Yeah.
John's an unk. He's 30. Yeah. So you're yeah. Nah, I mean it's crazy how seeing it in real time, like, but I still feel, me personally, I try to keep up and understand, but I really like the music and stuff. I really can't get into a lot of it. These kids, they don't use English the right way. And
off
some
my
of the
lawn.
slang, like what is it, 6, 7, like 9.
Yeah.
What does that say? 7. What is this shit
Yeah,
that
that's
was like word of the year?
7, that thing.
6,
6,
7,
7.
right? What the
6,
fuck
7.
does that even? Like,
I
even
have
my
no idea
niece,
what it even
nothing.
means.
Dog, my niece
Doesn't
told
mean
me
anything.
it means nothing, and I looked at.
Yeah.
I know what it means. Like, I know it's some, like, I think it's some slang that comes from Philly about cops or some bullshit. But I'm over here like, why does every kid in America use that in reference to nothing? And my niece was like, it means nothing. It's trolling old people, and and I'm like, I get it. And she's like, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do because you're
Yeah, it's
asking
working on you
questions.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And I'm like,
entertaining.
I'm sitting here like, oh, they got me, And this is, look, we weren't that sophisticated growing up. These kids, yeah, like that shit. Like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's like, but it's like, oh yeah, that's similar to that. Remember that shit? You do the little thing and put it on your leg, and then you slap somebody in the face or whatever. Like that
Yeah.
shit. That's what we used to
I
do.
still do that once
Like,
in a while.
yeah. But these kids now, they're just really smart, and they just play mind games with you, man. And
Psychological warfare.
it's crazy. They're really smart. And I'm excited. I'm hoping I can see this next generation.
That's what I'm doing to you right now. That's what.
Oh
I'm doing
yeah, I
here.
mean, you're part of that. What are you? Not a millennial. You're a
I'm Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah, this guy's a millennial over here. Though.
Oh, you're a millennial?
I think I'm on the border, something like that.
He's on the border. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a well.
I think I'm millennial.
I'm on the I'm cusp of Gen. What is it? Gen X and millennial. I was born 1 year before
Gen X. Yeah.
Yeah,
Full
so-
blown Gen X.
I mean, we had the best time growing up. I can't lie to you.
I was a
You
feral
really-
animal. Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't get away with this. I remember my. I probably can't share this story, but I mean, things my dad said he got away with when he was younger. I mean, oh my god, I'd be in jail for that.
Oh, with like women and shit? Forget about it, bro. Look at the shit we grew up. Like I always bring up the types of movies we grew up on.
Movies. I mean, Porky's, freaking Last American
Revenge of the
Virgin.
Nerds. I keep saying this.
Weird
Revenge of the
Science.
Nerds.
Just for the record,
Weird
but,
Science,
you know.
yeah, like these guys, yeah, like just naked women all over the place, like people just.
Oh my god, they had naked women running through the office building,
Yes,
and it was okay.
Yeah.
They had Playboy magazines like at the office.
at the, in the
Yep.
dentist office, just chilling, like, and this is the society of group. Look, Donald Trump, he was like a big influencer back then. Look at the like that Playboy lifestyle. Now he's president, like it's crazy. So you got to think like, but like the thing is now I kind of I feel we're in a better place. You know, women are safer, I guess, maybe. I don't know. but we have like a more tolerant society, maybe. But it's kind of, you know, we're backsliding a little bit, and that backslide is extreme, right? And it's being represented on social media because I have no clue how a guy like Nick Fuentes is. You know, even if I was a Nazi, I would be like, why is my leader a Mexican?
Even if I was
It
a
doesn't
Nazi,
make any
I
sense.
never thought I'd hear the day that someone was like, yeah, maybe if I was a Nazi. Like,
But why is the guy a Mexican? Like, it
I
doesn't
don't
make
know.
any sense.
The
Everything's
world makes
so
no
off.
sense right now.
It's crazy.
I think it's all social media, man. Just amplifying the smallest voices that nobody would ever hear normally.
And
I think that's what it is.
people with extreme views, and you can see
African
how
views.
it carries. Like that
Yep.
clavicular guy who's hitting himself in the face with a hammer all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy. It's like, cool. You're a good-looking guy. Just fucking flex and show yourself with your t-shirt off. But now but he has to do extra, like run over people and hit himself in the face with a hammer.
Now you know what Hugh's looking at on his
I
burner
look
phone
at his
on X,
content
right?
all the time. Yeah, I got to. You got to keep up. man.
You're
You
a
gotta keep up.
consumer of the things you hate. You know, you're an enabler almost.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I respect it for what it is, but I feel like it's not engaging or thought provoking. It's more like, holy shit, did you just see that extreme thing that just happened? Right? And it's not something that's gonna, you know, and you have to do another extreme thing and another extreme thing until the point where it's like becomes normalized, right? All these extremes. And now you're seeing fucking like like you saw that whole thing with those guys. There was a whole group of guys screaming Heil Hitler, and none of them were white. Except for
crazy.
one white guy in the
Yeah,
whole thing.
that's
I'm
wild.
like, that's crazy. Like I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen like shit like that. So
Where was that?
no, you never saw that
I
it
never
was,
saw that.
the Fresh and Fit guys. I don't know if you follow, like they
Oh,
were
okay.
in Miami and Sneeko.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know
They
what
were
you're
all
talking
in
about. Yeah,
Miami
yeah.
with Nick Fuentes and Andrew Tate.
That's
brother.
crazy, man. That was
It's
wild.
I'm like, what is going on here? Like it was like 4 black guys or half black guys and a Mexican who was openly Nazi and one white
Somebody-
kid who hits himself in the face with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And the white kid who hits himself with a hammer is the most normal person. And some African guy who thinks he's white. like that Myron game, the Fresh and Fit guy. I'm like, you're African. Like, what are you talking about? It's so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we gotta cut this off. This has been
No,
another.
that's good. I think it's a great way to end it.
This is
On
a
that
great
note.
way to end it. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for showing up. And actually, look, honestly, I thought this would be like a 40-minute interview. I
No,
think
this
it
is
went
good.
great. You guys are awesome. Would love to have you back on when you got more to share, obviously, or if you just want to hop on the chit chat. But I'm definitely gonna sign up for I want the mobile version because I'm gonna be, you know, phone charger hooked up to my phone this weekend and scanning a bunch of items in, and giving
Get
it a
on
real
FaceTime and
test.
walk you through it.
Okay, definitely. I'll hit you up if
Love
I
it.
have to, but you know, I'm gonna make some content off of it for my other channel.
Make sure you're
And,
honest. You got to give the honest review.
I'm not gonna say, look, if it sucks, I'll tell
You
you
added
in
us to make
private.
us look better. It's okay.
No. I'll tell you if it sucks, but I'll be objective in if I do a review, I will be objective without being hurtful.
So let me double click into that. Did Hugh ever tell you how we met?
No.
So he literally reached out to me and is like, your content sucks. It's super corny, but I think you'd be a good guest on the show. So
I didn't say
he
that.
will give you objective
I
information.
did not say that.
That's
right
what we want,
away.
honestly. That's what we want. We have a customer
Oh, yeah.
who tells us the same thing. He's like, I used the new thing you guys that just added the app and it sucks. You need to fix it. And like that's actually who you want for your
Yes,
early
absolutely.
beta testers.
Absolutely.
But I
And
didn't
it's
say
more
that to you,
important
Drew.
be
You
genuine.
know.
It's more
I know,
important to be
TJ.
genuine than
Yeah,
to be right. Right? You got to
Yes.
surround yourself by people who tell you, well, at least their truth.
I definitely do
can't-
that for John.
I can't be around a bunch of yes men all the time. I've the way I, you know, the nature of my business, the way I do things. I don't like to have people who just say yes sir, no sir. Even if they're my friends, I need people to give me criticism because look, I'm not always doing the right things. I feel I'm right most of the time, but I don't always. I do want you to say, give me some pushback so I can give some thought around my decision.
So modest.
No, I'm serious. Like, and it
I love that mentality. That's like admirable.
It's the only way you get better at anything you do. Because if you can't, because there's always somebody who's gonna try to like outperform you in some aspect. And I feel like I try to surround myself with people who understand things maybe a little bit better than I do in some cases, and then I take their ideas and make them better.
Mhm.
You know? So wait, I might make my own app and compete with you guys. I'm just kidding. I don't even
Let's
know
do
what
it.
the hell you all do.
Let's do it.
That's a great market.
I accept
believe
the
in it,
challenge.
I'm
It
messing
makes
with you.
everybody better.
Yeah, but even I say this on the podcast all the time. I'm the biggest fan of one of our competitors, and they know it, and we talk all the time. They love us, we love them, but that's just the way we keep. You got to keep the energy going and keep coming up with new ideas. And again, talking to guys like you who are, I think you're thought leaders in this space right now because you're looking at it from a very data first, tech focus, and problem solving, not just something that just says, hey, here's a way I could just be part of the mix and do a money grab. And I think the only innovation that, like not to shit on KNet and all them, but the only innovation that they have is that they're willing to stock your merchandise. Get the shit out of my house, right?
Right.
Let me be like the thing. Other than that, everything that they do is just takes more manpower, more time, and
They got some cool
way-
features though.
I mean, look, you're trying to play nice with the platform. That's great, but at the end of the day, I'm not in competition. I see. Look, they're great. If I was selling at volume and didn't have so many weird and rare shoes, it would be. Look, I had a bunch of Air Force One sitting in my closet right now, like 900 pairs. Hell yeah, I'd give it to them and let them sell them off. But that's not where we're at, and I feel you guys are just a better solution for everybody in general. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate that.
Oh,
I'm glad
thank
you
you.
think
Yeah.
that. I think so. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
okay.
I'm excited
Any-
to see the product.
Yeah, word. Any closing words from you guys? I know we've covered a lot, but anything else you want to say?
No,
I
thank
heard
you.
you mine, John. You have anything?
All right.
No, thank you. It's been fun. Definitely love to come back on, and yeah, I'm excited to keep this going.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Before I even post this, I'll send you guys like a link to watch it if you feel anything was out of out of character or whatever.
No, go ahead.
Like I'm not gonna.
I prove it already. I'm
Oh, you
putting on
approved
there.
it? Okay,
It's all
John,
good.
you cool with that? Hey, look.
Sage with HR, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
HR,
cool.
so.
Yeah, your HR. Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
next
then
time.
it'll probably be up in like 24 to 48 hours, and we'll have the
Awesome.
audio out and everything. Some clips, obviously, for social media. I'll tag you guys if you want to collab on the clips. But no, this is a very fruitful conversation. I appreciate you.
Hugh,
sharing.
do you have all their social medias so we can tag it? in
I
the-
follow everything.
Okay.
I could get it. I have it all in my.
Are you guys
I'll
on
tag
all
everybody.
socials?
Our socials are kind of underbaked, to be honest. But like, you
Okay.
could shout out our main Instagram. It kind of looks like a bot account because we like haven't done
It does
anything
look
with
like
it.
a bot account.
We promise it's not fake.
It's
we
not
just have
fake.
it
It's a
really.
real
Sage
account.
DMs me from there sometimes on one of the accounts.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
sent a
like-
DM and I think you were like you didn't respond, but you responded to my email, so you must have thought it was like a bot account or something. But
yeah.
But yeah, you can shout out that account. Like we have both our personals if you want to add that.
Okay.
But the other thing I would add is like, yeah, we should definitely do it again in a month, 2 months, whatever works for you guys.
yeah.
And like
Whatever updates you guys.
I'll show you the app on the video, like on the podcast. We'll
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
that'll be dope. Yeah.
I think that would be
yeah.
a lot more interesting for the viewers to like actually see what it looks like. And I'm sure you're gonna post your stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot more exciting visually, at least.
Yeah,
Definitely
I'm
on
definitely
Facebook,
gonna put
on
our Reddit community is growing fast, so I'm
Oh, really? What
going
is
to.
it?
It's just 12 Hub Sneaker Podcast. We get we get a lot of hate and wait, I'll send the link in the chat. It's 12
gonna
Hub
download
There's a lot of
everybody
interesting people on the internet.
I'm gonna downvote all the haters. I'm gonna be like, screw you guys. This is the greatest podcast on the planet. Who's your competitor, by the way? I know it sounds like you don't want to say their name.
Oh
but-
no, that's cool.
Oh, we got
it's,
tons.
Well, there's a ton, the closest, and I've been on their podcast. Shout out to Sneak This podcast. They are sort of the people that inspired me to start this.
Mhm.
This is back in 2021. I went down to they're based out of what is it, Arizona. They're just two regular guys that do a podcast, and they've been doing it they started in 2016. I started listening to them in 2019, and they're just great. I mean, I was really attracted to the personalities. And it's funny, I went on their podcast. We didn't even talk about sneakers. We were on there for like 3 hours, and we were talking about like Teslas, Bitcoin, all this shit. And they're just pretty awesome guys, like just from a personality standpoint. And that's what they really to me. They really represent what the culture is missing. They talk about sneakers in a more human way, like, yo, I like the colorway and blah, 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 and talk about real world things around it. Like, I remember when I was this years old and I asked my dad for this sneaker. And when you listen to other sneaker podcasts, they just talk about shoes like, oh, the shoe is so this and it retails for that. And I can't wait for this and that. And I'm like, it's boring in a sense, you know?
Storytelling.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of storytelling and personality behind the stuff you make. And I feel like when I took that formula and ran with it, and they love our stuff, we love their stuff, we coexist, but I also feel they are a competitor, and their audience we share their audience for the most part. And as more people see our content,
So
they
you're saying we
listen
should
to
not
both
go
of
on
us.
that podcast.
You should. No, for real. They would
Get your stuff
would,
out there everywhere.
So Greg and George, their names are Greg and George. Both of them work in tech as well. They're very smart guys. So I can make that connection if you want. And if they're interested, they can do the same thing. They're great, man. I think
Only
you guys
if
have
you want
better
to. I mean,
content.
to be totally transparent with you, like, I mean, yeah, we wanted to come on your guys' podcast, talk to you, but it's really just like I felt like I had a connection with you, Hugh.
Oh, thanks.
I hadn't got to meet you yet, Drew. But
That's okay. I don't take it personally.
no, I feel like we have a connection now, at least. But
Yeah.
but no, like we had a chance to talk before, and I felt like we had a great conversation. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It wasn't really like a marketing thing. I mean, you saw our Instagram account.
No, I get it. No, I don't
We don't
care.
have We need to start posting stuff. You're right about that.
If you need help, let me know, man. We do like
You don't want to say that because I'll tap into that.
I can help develop your platforms here. I do a ton of my whole
now
business.
He's scaling it back.
I'll show you. I'll send you you don't have to pay me. I'll just, like I said, I'll do it to help you guys. But you have it has to be like, if you guys can provide the content, we could help post it and moderate. But not just being part of that whole. I'd love to see things like this grow into something bigger, and being part of that community at the ground floor to me means more than getting paid. But when you guys start getting paid again, we will take money. And
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, if you got, whoever grows first, I definitely look. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna put stuff on the platform. I'm gonna start selling through you guys exclusively once I get all these things consolidated. But I love everything you guys are doing. I love you guys' attitude about the way you're running your business. And again, it just reminds me of 10, 15 years ago when I started in tech, and
younger days.
Yeah, dude, it was. And look, I'm on the operations side, but I got to sit in with the people having these, scrums about talk, like all this stuff. I didn't know what scrum meant until I started working at a tech company. But like all of these things, like about developing these products into something like tangible that everybody.
Well, if you ever need an agile coach, I've been an agile coach for over 10 years, so
we might need that too. Honestly, I don't think you guys want to offer something. We might actually come.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah, startups like free things, guys.
Yeah,
hit me up.
Yeah, I'm just here for the shits and giggles, for real, because you guys are fun, and this is gonna be a great ride seeing you guys like. I really think it's gonna blow up and be something in the culture, not like Whatnot is or whatever these other apps are, but I feel like
Whatnot's getting some hate nowadays.
They're selling.
It's incestual now. It just feels like they're all kind of a gang of resellers that just keep flipping shoes back and forth from each other. So it used to be better. I mean, get off my lawn, right? It used to be better when it was smaller, more niche, but now it just feels like, geez, it's just, they're just yelling at you. Buy it.
TikTok,
I'm losing trillions.
TikTok is taking a lot of their market share.
Yeah,
TikTok with their live selling platform.
I think you should do Whatnot, you.
I don't even know how to buy it. I think people would buy from me. I can't put myself out there like that. It's like the lowest common denominator.
I'd love to see it do a Whatnot stream.
That'd be awesome.
I am not the guy, bro.
I'd do it.
Here, guys, 50 cents. Just starts at 50 cents. No, we're not doing that today. No, not today. I prefer to stay behind the scenes of my reselling, make my little profit here and there when I can, and put 0 pictures of my sneakers. I'm the only sneaker guy on Instagram that doesn't put pictures of his sneakers up. Now, I used to. I don't do it anymore. I just do the podcast clips. Anywho,
On
we're
that
here
note.
now. Wonderful great discussion, guys. Love all the stuff you guys are doing. And we will check you in the next episode. We got to do our sneakers of the year next week for 2025. We'll
That's
have
right.
the regular crew back in the house. And tell them, wait, what's the website? Waitlist.usevault.app.
App.
And it's going to be in our description of the pod when I throw it out there.
Go check it out.
So
Come
you
talk to
guys
us.
can sign up and get on the waiting list. I'll be beta testing over the weekend and hopefully have some content out in a week or two around it. It depends on my editing schedule, but I'm excited to actually use the app and finally offload some of this stuff. And I'll do like updates to make sure that if things move, I'm definitely going to like update our audience on how that's progressing, because I only really sell on Alias or GOAT or whatever right now. And I see stuff on StockX all the time that I was like, damn, I wish I could, because StockX pricing is becoming a little more competitive. They're moving stuff at higher prices now, I've noticed. So
It'd be great if you could be everywhere and just use one platform, right?
That's right.
I think we just talked
Sells
to the
itself.
solution for that. Yeah, we're here talking to you guys, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I'll see you all next week, and thank you guys again for coming on.
It's a good meeting you both.
See y'all.
Yeah, likewise.
Good night, fellas. Bye.
Bye.